You need yourself some more Uli Jon Roth in your life. Get your daily dose with this sick B minor lick that starts off his solo in a song, Cast Away Your Chains. Hello children and welcome to Weekend Wankshop. Here's a good buddy, Uncle Ben. Some of you guys might know Uli Jon Roth from his work with the Scorpions and his solo act. And if you don't know Uli Jon Roth, you at least know some people who he influenced greatly. Guys like Yngwie Malmsteen, Marty Friedman, and a score of other sick hunks. Uli was one of the first guys in rock to start doing kind of the neoclassical thing and really pushing it with some of the arpeggios and exotic modes and stuff like Phrygian dominant. He's also one of the first guys to start using a solid body 7-string guitar, which is something that a lot of people don't acknowledge. He's also a hell of a good dresser. This is a really killer lick that kicks off his solo in his song Cast Away Your Chains, which came out around 1980, but it honestly pretty much sounds like it could have been a Rust in Peace era Megadeth solo. This solo in this song has some really sick stuff in it. I could do Weekend Wankshops for like 2 months just based off the licks in this solo. It'll blow your mind. Check it out sometime. But before we dig into it, let's hear it again at stepdad speed. So the solo is in the key of B minor, and the first part here takes place over a B minor chord. There's sort of a B minor and a G change throughout there. We'll talk a little bit about what he's playing and how it sort of affects the harmony of what it sounds like over these chords too. To start off with, what he does is he's actually playing the 17th fret on the high E string with full step bend 3 times in a row. I left that out, but that's how he kicks it off, just to kind of establish that strong B minor root note in your ears. So the first thing that we do is this sort of sliding 2-string arpeggio sequence. And again, this is all over B minor. This is something that I've heard Marty Friedman do a million times in his solos. These kind of sliding arpeggio things on 2 strings. Really cool sound. Now he's starting off by playing the 21st fret high E string, pulling off to 17 on the high E. And then what he's going to do is to play the 19 on the B string, like that. Now, a lot of you guys might look at this and assume this is an F-sharp minor arpeggio. So if we play those 3 notes, that is F-sharp minor. But you got to think this is over a B minor sort of sound. So what you're playing right there in relation to the root of B, you've got the 9th right there, the C-sharp note. You've got this A note down here, which would be a minor 7 to a B. Again, don't think about B down here. Think about B where you're at, you know? Play the ball where it lies. It'll help you see those intervals a little better. So he's playing the 9th, he's playing the minor 7th, which you can see are just kind of right there around the root. And then he's playing what would be the 5 of the chord, the F-sharp note, like that. So again, your fingers might tell you F-sharp, but the harmony tells you it's more like B minor plus a minor 7th plus a 9th. So it's like B minor 7, add 9 kind of tonality. That's one thing I'm always getting on with my students. Don't trust the shapes of your fingers to tell you what you're playing. Think about what you're playing in relation to the harmony. What are you playing it over? And the definitions of those notes will change. Because again, that on its own feels like F-sharp minor, but to a B minor chord, that's something completely different. Yada, yada, yada. So after you play those 3 notes, you're going to play the 17 on the high E string again, slide down to 14. Then you're going to play the 15 on the B, and then back to the 14 on the E, and then the 15 on the B again. So now you have your arpeggio up here, your slide down, then just going back and forth between those 2 notes right there. And again, this position we slid down into, that's the 5th of a B minor, that's a minor 3rd of a B minor. So now we're back squarely in B minor territory. After this, what we're going to do is we're going to play the 17 on the high E, pulling off to 14, 15th fret B, 14th fret high E, sliding down to 10, 12th B, 10th high E, 12th B. So this kind of lands you again squarely in B minor territory. You sort of start off with a pull off of the minor 7th right there of an A note. So this whole thing kind of sounds like B minor 7. Cool sound. Then we get to the really cool part. Now, this lick right here, again, your fingers are going to tell you it sort of feels like a B minor arpeggio. But at this point, the chords have changed to a G major. So the harmony is going to be something completely different. Again, you can't just go off of finger shapes. That's something that I think really leads guitar players astray a lot of times. They go off of whatever finger shape they're playing to say, oh, I'm playing Lydian, or I'm playing Mixolydian, or whatever. The harmony dictates that stuff, guys. It's not about the finger shapes. So let me show you the lick, and then I'll explain what's going on. Starting off with the 14th fret high E string, pulling off to 10, 12th fret B, 11th fret G, 12th fret D, pulling off to 11. So that's... Next we're going to do a little scalar action. We're going to go to the 14 here on the A, 12th A, 10th A, 12th A, 14th A. So now you got 12D, pulling off to 11. Then on the A string here we're going to play 14, 12, 10, and 9. On the scalar section right there, where I included that one little pull-off, I'm going to say that's approximate. It's really hard to say if he's picking it all like that, or if there's more legato in there. It goes by so fast. It's really honestly kind of hard to tell. But going off of the way that most guys play, I'm going to assume that there's a pull-off going on right there on the D string. So like I said, a lot of you guys might play that shape and feel the underlying kind of B minor skeleton that's going on right there. But you got to think over a G major chord, which is what's going on behind it here. That means that we're playing F sharp here, which is the major 7th. Again, don't think about how far it is away from this G. There's a G right here. So I'm kind of thinking of it as a 7th away, you know, from this G right here. So you got 7th and 5th, there's 3rd. So you can see right now with these 3 notes, that feels like B minor, but to G, that's like G major 7 sounding. So anyway, you got 7th, 5th, 3rd, there's that 7th again. Then on the D string here you got a 5 and a sharp 11, which is what gives it kind of that Lydian sound that I love so much. And then this, that's just kind of walking right up and down a G Lydian scale. Ending on F sharp, which is where it goes back to B minor, so you're back on the 5th of that B minor chord. Really cool lick the way that it works in and out of the harmony of those 2 chords. It never really just explicitly plays B minor against the B minor chord, G major against the G major chord. That's something that I think you can do with your arpeggio playing to really spice stuff up. Play those notes that expand the harmony. Don't just play the harmony that's already there. That's a given, right? If you play beyond that, add in some 9s, add in some 7s, really raises the price tag of those licks up. It keeps you from sounding like you're just stating what's already there. B minor against B minor. Add something to it. Add some harmony, you know. So as for a little right hand action here, we'll kind of break this up into sections. For the slighty arpeggio part, the picking pattern I'm using is up with a pull off, followed by a downstroke, followed by an upstroke with the slide, down, up, down. That's how I play all those licks. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Same for the next one. Now for the arpeggio section, I'm starting off with, an upstroke. I had to think about that a little bit. I start off with an upstroke followed by a pull off, followed by 2 more ups. So you got a little sweep action happening right there. On the D string here, I actually catch myself doing a downstroke. It would kind of make more sense to continue my upstroke thing. But maybe it's because that note's landing on a downbeat. I don't know, my instinct is to downstroke right there. Maybe it just sort of establishes, you know, a downbeat for me better. I don't know. But up, 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 down. And then on the A string, for this lick, I'm going to go down, up, with a pull-off. Again, that's that little pull-off on the D string that I assume is there. It might not be. It might just be straight alternate picked. I don't know. Down, up, pull off. Down, up. That's how I pick it anyway. So there you go, guys. A sick lick and hopefully some cool ideas about expanding harmony with your arpeggio playing a little bit there. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to go like my new Facebook fan page over on facebook.com/UncleBenEller. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @BenEllerGuitars. And if you're interested in booking some one-on-one Skype lessons with me to talk about theory and technique and all that stuff, you can drop me an email, BenEllerGuitars@gmail.com. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Stay tuned for another sick lick next week. And seriously, go listen to the guitar solo in that song. It'll blow your mind. Again, keep in mind, 1980 is when that came out, and that dude was ripping at that level. Pretty scary stuff. Anyway, see you next week.